So last week I asked you guys to give me some questions, and here's a video with some of my answers. Look, I even dressed up for this. I look nice. This is where I will ask your questions, and this is where I'll give my answers. Will there be a new parody song soon? Yes. One little hint about what it's about? Nope. Android, iPhone, or other. Android. What do you use to edit your videos? Sony Vegas Pro. What's a recent blonde moment you had? I recently went to go preheat my oven, only to find out that once it was preheated, I had accidentally left half of a birthday cake in the oven, which was all melted. Favorite musical artist? Motion City Soundtrack. Tell me a secret. About 2 years ago, I was approached by a company to advertise their phone app for a sizable amount of money. I won't talk about the company, I won't talk about the amount of money, but there was 4 digits involved. Favorite book in Harry Potter? Prisoner of Azkaban. Do you read/watch Game of Thrones? No, I do not. Are you excited for the new Star Wars movie? Yes. How do I start getting into collecting comics? I would suggest just buying a bunch, reading them, finding out what you like, and then just going from there. What motivates you to do videos, especially in months where you do a video every single day? I talk about what interests me. If I run out of things to talk about, I need better interests. Do you watch any other BBC shows besides Doctor Who? I watch Sherlock and I watch The Nerdist, which is on BBC America. Does that count? Why have you been using empty white walls as backgrounds lately? I'm getting the new setup. Also, shut up. If you could team up with any superhero, who would it be? Would I also have superpowers? Because I feel like I wouldn't be much help if I didn't have superpowers. If you could have any superpower, what could it— Oh, okay. Well, telekinesis, but I feel like I would gain weight real quick. Who would win in a fight, the 10th Doctor or the 11th Doctor? Have you seen The Day of the Doctor? They are daft when they're together. Will there be a Shamrock Shake sequel? Maybe. Whatever happened with that comic shop documentary that you were talking about last year? There wasn't enough interest in the project, so we just moved on. What year did you discover YouTube? The website? I discovered it around its launch in 2005. I used it for movie trailers and AMVs. What is your favorite color? I don't usually wear purple, but I think it works. Favorite Doctor? 11. Favorite classic Doctor? Look at me, I'm wearing a vegetable. Favorite Doctor Who episode? The two-parter with the Crash of the Byzantium and the Weeping Angels. Worst high school memory? Back in high school when I took the ACT for the first time, they had this paragraph that you had to repeat word for word, but in cursive. That you were who you said you were, all the information that you provided was completely valid, it was all legal mumbo jumbo, that you were not faking or lying or anything like that. Well, anyway, it was really long, and I'm really bad at writing in cursive. It's not that my cursive is ugly, it's just I take a really long time doing it. So I was writing this in cursive, which I don't even know if they do this anymore, because a lot of schools don't teach cursive, but I was like halfway done, and then they started the test, and I was freaking out because I wasn't done with the paragraph, but I couldn't leave the paragraph and go do the test because I needed to get this done in order to prove that I was who I was, so I kept going on that, and I was like losing time on the test, and I was freaking out. So thank you for making me relive that. Other favorite TV shows besides Doctor Who? iZombie, Bates Motel, Silicon Valley, Bob's Burgers. Hardest decision you've had to make in the last 24 hours? Should I get orange chicken or General Tso's? What did you think of the TV show Lost? Oh, I loved it, and I was even more okay with the ending than a lot of people were. What's the first picture you took on your phone? This is a reasonably new phone, but the first picture I took with it was at a convention with Ant-Man versus a Dalek. Favorite musical? I was really into the theater production of Rent before the movie came out, and then when the movie came out, everybody's like, oh, Rent! And that just makes me sound really hipster, doesn't it? What was the first novel you ever read? A Wrinkle in Time, still one of my favorites. Where do you live? Ohio. Can you hear the lackluster appreciation in my voice? Where would you like to travel? I've always wanted to visit the UK and Scotland. I've never actually been out of North America, so I want to change that. Do you like Scott Pilgrim? Yes, the graphic novels and the movie. And the games. Which 2 doctors would you be a companion to? 5 and 11. Do you support equal rights? Of course I do. Have you read the 1984 Doctor Who comics? Do you mean these 1984 Doctor Who comics? What age did you start reading comics? I think I was 9 when I got my first couple, and then I took a very long break until my mid-20s, and then my comic collection exploded into what it is now. What's the longest you've had your hair? Oh, I've had my hair all my life. That's not what you're asking? Not a very good picture, but that's a pretty good representation of how long my hair was in high school. Do you have any siblings? 1 brother and 1 sister. Favorite companion on Doctor Who? Adric. What's your favorite computer operating system? I mainly use Windows, but I've dabbled in Linux a little bit, elementary, and Ubuntu. What weird foods do you eat besides milk on ice cream? I put buffalo sauce on everything, except for ice cream. Milk goes on ice cream. Thanks so much for all your questions, guys. If you want me to do another one this month, go ahead and leave questions down below, and maybe I'll make another question video. Who knows? Oh, and to answer your question, before you ask it, this is Lady Mechanica. If you've never heard of Lady Mechanica, go look her up. The comic series is rather small, so it'll take you not a lot of time to catch up, and it's really cool, especially if you're into steampunk stuff and awesome female characters. As always, my name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say about my own personal life, and you will see me tomorrow.